Good morning, everyone. This is Professor Pavan Makhija from Department of Information Technology, Acropolis Institute of Technology and Research, Indore. Today, we are going to discuss about the topic Agile Development. It is a topic that is related to the subject of software engineering. So, before moving on to the agility, we first understand that what was the manifesto that were designed by a few of the software experts for agile software development. Here we are going to uncover all the better ways of developing software by doing it and helping others to do it. Through this work, we have come to value individuals and interactions over processes and tools, working software over comprehensive documentation, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, and responding to change over following a plan. That means all the items that are written on the left side of the slide, individuals and interactions, working software, customer collaboration, responding to change, that needs to be valued more as compared to processes and tools, comprehensive documentation. You can see that the idea is not to focus much about or not to value much about processes and tools rather than value individuals and interaction. We'll talk later in the upcoming slides. What is an agility? So agility is something effective response to change, something that is rapid and adaptive, right? So the idea was, in the conventional software development life cycle process models, the customer was supposed to sign a contract with the company or with the team. The team is going to work according to the contract that was negotiable, and he is going to, or they are going to deliver the software. What during the development, if the customer is looking for some changes that needs to be catered in a highly prioritized manner, in that case it is quite difficult for the company or for the team to deliver that software requirements. So just looking onto the problem that the whole software community or the whole software stakeholders were facing, this was the advancement that agility was bring into the concept, which says that you can now take the customer as the part of your team, communicate effectively with the customer, not to negotiate, not to go for a contract, rather than specification, rather than design, focus on the code, focus on the communication that needs to be done with the customer, as he is the part of our team, he is the part of the project team, and the work needs to be done in a super fine way, which is going to yield a rapid incremental delivery of the software, right? So what is an agile process? Agile process is, it is driven by customer descriptions of what is required by the customer. All the requirements are going to be stored or received or catered in the form of scenarios from the customer. The customer is going to submit all the requirements in the form of user stories. Our team is going to recognize that how we are going to plan so that we can deliver all the requirements that were submitted by the customer. So that plans should be short-lived. This is the essence behind agile. Small interval, small goals, that's it. Here we are going to develop the software iteratively with a heavy emphasis on construction activities. I can say that we can go for multiple software increments that can be delivered in a day by the project community working on a particular project, as we say that changes are inevitable in the conventional cycle of developing the software. Not with the case with the agile process. We'll develop the software increment, we'll go to the customer, because the customer is now the part of my team. We'll take the particular demonstration to him, he'll verify, he'll validate that yes, I was looking for the same, and now you can go for the next increment that needs to be developed. So this is the first or widely used agile process that is known as extreme programming. It can be called it as XP. What it means, it is proposed by Ken Back, where the planning, the designing, the coding, and the deployment needs to be done, but in a smarter way. Here we are going to begin with the creation of user stories. What is the idea behind user stories is that user is going to give all the requirements in the form of user stories. The team that is supposed to be delivering the particular requirements, with the help of the customer as the part of the team, they are going to assess the story and assign a particular cost, that this much amount of cost, this much amount of manpower, this much amount of a working hour needs to be spared in order to deliver this increment. All these stories are grouped in such a way so that we can form a deliverable increment. We are going to make a commitment that by this date I'm going to deliver this increment, by this date I'm going to deliver this second subsequent delivery. If the customer is known that I'm getting this set of requirements in this time, so he's going to say that the project velocity is very much helpful for him to know that by what time I'm getting the product to be deliverable or to be delivered. Once we have done with the planning, we are going to design. The most important thing is to follow the KISS principle. KISS means keep it simple. That means you don't have to use complex procedures, complex processes in order to achieve the results, rather than keeping the things simple, encouraging the use of CRC cards for difficult design problems. You can suggest the creation of spike solution, that is the most important part in the IT industries going on. It is a type of design prototype that are basically used for difficult design problems, right? Here, XP design is also emphasizing much towards refactoring. What refactoring is, that means if some programming constructs are complex, I can refactor that programming construct. I can change the syntax. I can make it quite visible. I can make it quite easy to understand for the other guy. Let's say if I left the company, I left the project team, the other customer or the other developer should be easily track and trace that what this code is meant to be, right? Then we have XP coding. It recommends the construction of a unit test for a store before coding commences. This is the USP of agile process. What it means, that I can go parallelly the testing as well as coding. Java unit, JUnit is a framework that is used for test first development. Here we are going to encourage the pair programming. Encouraging pair programming means working on a single increment. There might be more than two people. So pair programming is like one guy is coding, the other guy is reviewing the code. So vice versa, the other guy who was coding, the other guy is going to review the code. In that case, the chances of getting erroneous results or getting less deliverables is quite less, right? And XP testing is like, here we are going to use unit testing. We are going to execute n number of times the unit testing so that all the increments needs to be delivered on time, and acceptance test has to be done because customer is the part of my team. He's going to accept if he is satisfied with the work that has been done by the customer. This is one of the finest approach similar to the XP, named as dynamic systems development method. This is a method that was promoted by the DSDM consortium. The website, if you want more detail, you can go for the website www.dsdm.org. Here they have proposed some principles, that means active user involvement is imperative. The team is free to make decision. The focus should be on frequent delivery of products. For business purpose, we can use agile methods. The whole idea is to get iterative and incremental development in order to get accurate business solutions. I'm not going to take much time while discussing this, right? This is also an agile approach, as said earlier. Its focus is on, again, frequent delivery of products that are good enough as compared to be perfectly in the end, right? One of the finest approach that many IT companies are using is Scrum, which was originally proposed by Schauber and Beadle. Scrum is differed in a way with XP or DSDMS. Like here, the developing work is partitioned into packets, not in the form of stories, where in XP we used to write stories. Here we also use stories, but all the development works are going to be partitioned into packets. Testing and documentations are ongoing as a product is constructed, right? Here we are going to use number of sprints in order to deliver the product with the help of product backlog. And that product backlog is having the set of existing requirements that were required by the customer according to the priority, right? And there's a scrum master, we might call him as a project manager, who is going to conduct shorter span of meetings, let's say 10 minutes, 15 minutes of meeting, that might be without chairs, where we are going to look for the progress, that what needs to be done today, and by the end of the day what has been done, right? We'll be going to deliver all the demonstration to the customer, so that he should know that by the end of the day I'm getting this particular deliverable, right? So this is the typical diagram of, or the process of Scrum. As earlier said, product backlog, where we are going to prioritize product features desired by the customer. All the features according to the priority are giving as the input in the first sprint backlog. This sprint backlog is now expanded by the team as the progress has been done in order to develop. And once we have finished with all the increments, I can say that this is the output that we'll be getting as new functionalities demonstrated at the end of the sprint, right? So the agile idea is that to fix time, not the features, because customer is free. He can come with any number of requirements at any moment of time. In the conventional process models, the features were fixed, but time was not fixed, right? Here, the time is fixed, that by the end of the day, I'm going to deliver this feature, right? So here is the perspective and the agile. It is a scenario that if the focus is on the perspective, then you have to go for the fixed ratio. When the focus is on the agility, then we have to go for the variable, right? So I hope you are getting what I'm trying to connect with you people. So next topic will be delivered in the next lecture. Thank you for your patience. Have a nice day.